Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another Black Templars video, because as we found out yesterday, the Black Templars will be going on pre-order this Saturday, and they get a new codex. They even get dice, which was the one little surprise, and they get all the stuff that we were expecting. So the two new characters, the Execrator and the Crusade Ancient, and then the data sheets and the different versions of the codex, etc. So, and the combat patrol, of course. So we got everything we were expecting, plus some dice. And what I was hoping was that today Games Workshop would release an article going into a bit more depth on the Black Templars, because they very often do that the Monday before the Saturday when a product goes on pre-order. They start to flesh out. It's basically marketing. They're trying to encourage you to pre-order. I don't need any encouragement. I've already pre-ordered mine. So the main thing about this, and I haven't read this article yet, so what I'm hoping for is something a bit special, because we saw the leaks, and the leaks have been out for a couple of weeks. No, oh, that rhymes great. But they were not encouraging. I talked about them yesterday in the video. It just seems that every unit that was mentioned in the leaks had something taken away from them. And of course we know that Oath of Moment is being taken away from the faction. When it first leaked, and the guy who leaked the image and some details on the rules said, oh, they've lost Oath of Moment. People didn't believe this, and when I posted the leaks on Reddit, people were saying, these aren't true, there's no way they'd ever get rid of Oath of Moment, you can't do it, because all Space Marines have Oath of Moment. Well, yeah, and they're saying this despite the fact that we saw the data sheet as well for the Execrator, and he did not have Oath of Moment as a keyword or an ability. He had Templar Vows on it. And I can tell just from the headline here for this article today, Black Templars forget Oaths of Moment, swear a Templar vow today. So this just confirms it. They're about to tell us, I think, that Black Templars lose Oath of Moment and gain Templar vows. So unless these Templar vows are amazing, this is bad news, because if you don't know, Oath of Moment is the ability to, in your command phase, not your shooting phase or fight phase, please, Space Marine players, in your command phase you can pick a unit from your enemy and declare that as the Oath of Moment, and any shots or attacks that you do against that unit for the whole battle round, you will re-roll all your hit rolls against that unit, and you will get +1 to your wound roll, which is amazing. Unless you're one of the sort of divergent chapters, the Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels, etc., and the Black Templars, then you lose the +1 to wound, because you get other things, that more in keeping with your chapter. And that was the way it's been for the last 2 years with the Black Templars under the index that they've been using, but not now. I have no idea why, but maybe it's as I say, something more thematic, more in keeping with the style of the chapter. But who knows? But let's read and see. Maybe they'll explain it to us. All Space Marines take their oaths seriously, but few hold them in such reverence as the Black Templars. They spend the hours before battle in deep prayer and contemplation, before declaring an unbreakable vow before the God Emperor and their brothers. Their ancestral vows are so important that they forgo the usual Space Marine playbook in favour of an army rule that better fits the Black Templar modus operandi, backed up by 3 new detachments. Yeah, so they're saying, well, these Templar vows are more in keeping with what Black Templars are all about. And backed up by 3 new detachments. Only 3. There are only 3 detachments in this codex, in this new codex. I have no idea why there's only 3. They better be bloody good, though. Each vow is a solemn do-or-die promise to perform in the eyes of the Emperor. Black Templars follow their chosen Templar vow with unshakable conviction, never keeping their eyes off the prize, even as other Space Marines chop and change their Oath of Moment target from turn to turn. Never keeping their eyes off the prize. Nobody at Games Workshop knows how to write an English sentence, but never mind. More importantly, here are the oaths. So is this, not say the oaths, the vows. So is this it? Are these the 4 vows that we have now? Abhor the witch, destroy the witch. Each time this unit declares a charge, if one or more targets of that charge have the Psyker keyword, you can re-roll the charge roll. Melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the precision ability while targeting Psyker units. Not blown away by that. I mean, how many armies do you come across that are full of Psykers? That might be good against Thousand Suns. It might be good against Tyranids. That's about it, really, isn't it? Like, do you need reroll charges against Psyker units, particularly, and then precision against the Psyker? Maybe Eldar, picking off Eldar characters. Yeah, but it's not amazing. What's the second one? Accept any challenge, no matter the odds. Each time this unit makes a melee attack, if the strength characteristic of that attack is less than or equal to the toughness characteristic of the target, add 1 to the wound roll. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, that means you're hitting you're wounding other Marines on a 3 now. You are, let's say, you target your sword brethren, target Terminators. They'd be wounding them on a 3 as well, I think. And then obviously if you're fighting something really tough, like a Demon Prince or some sort of tank or something, then you're probably now wounding on a 4 rather than a 5. That's pretty useful. It's pretty useful. Not amazing, but I like it. Suffer not the unclean to live. This unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. And each time a model in this unit makes a pile-in or consolidation move, it does not need to end that move closer to the closest enemy model, provided it ends that move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. Okay, that's pretty useful, and that's pretty good. So if you're engaged in melee in the fight phase, let's say you've charged in, you fought, you haven't finished off the enemy, they fought you back, maybe that you've lost a couple of models. In the next fight phase, and it will be you then to fight first, because it'll be the other player's turn, you can fall back and then charge back in, and then, I mean, so you get fights first, but you were already going to fight. Oh no, hang on, I'm getting slight. So you'd fall back in your movement phase, though, wouldn't you? Of course. This unit is eligible to charge in a turn. Oh right, yeah, I'm getting a bit confused. So it'd be your movement phase. So if you were already locked in combat, so probably if the other player has charged you and hasn't killed you, maybe they've weakened you, maybe they haven't killed you, in your movement phase, you can disengage and then charge them and get fights first. Yes. So that's basically what it does, isn't it? It gives you fights first. But then the pile-in and consolidation is great as well, in that you don't have to get any closer to the closest model. This will help you wrap other units into combat. There's probably some nice tricks with that. It would be better if the pile-in and consolidation was 6 inches instead of 3. If they'd have added that as well, it would have been better. But yeah, there's some use there, some play there. And then the last one, if this unit has the infantry keyword, as this is called, uphold the honor of the emperor. At the end of your command phase, if this unit is within range of an objective marker that you control, that objective marker remains under your control so it's sticky. It's sticky objectives. You can leave the objective and you still control it. That's very useful. All infantry. I mean, that is pretty useful, really, for scoring. And then if the mission you are playing features actions, this unit is eligible to start to perform an action in a turn in which it advances. That's really good. That is massive. No one else can do this that I'm aware of. So if you need to get into a certain section of the battlefield, like into no man's land or your opponent's deployment zone, and perform an action, and you're quite far away from it, you can advance and get there and still do the action. That's really good. That's actually really good. And you've got the sticky. I think that's the one to go with. I mean, that is just so good for scoring points and completing your secondary missions. Okay, so they're not. Is this better than picking a unit and re-rolling all hits and getting +1 to wound? I'm not sure, but I do like that last one. I think that's could be key. Could win you. You could win battles with that, I think. Okay, so the rule replaces the regular Oath of Moment army rule. Yeah, we know that. Shared by other Space Marine chapters, and gives Sigismund's heirs a wider suite of abilities to pick from at the start of the game. Crusades going up against high toughness units like Knights or big Tyranid beasties can pick accept any challenge, no matter the odds, to improve their wound rolls, while enemy psychers live in mortal fear of abhor the witch, destroy the witch. To access Templar vows, all you need to do is include units with the Black Templars faction keyword in your army, or pick one of the 3 detachments found in their Codex supplement. You'll have to abide by few restrictions, no psychers naturally, and they're all laid out neatly in the new Heirs of Sigismund rule. I like that name, Heirs of Sigismund, the legend. Right, so here are the sort of conditions on you getting this Templar vow keyword or ability. So if an Adeptus Astartes unit has a second faction keyword on its data slate, that faction keyword is the name of that unit's chapter. For example, High Marshal Helbrecht has both Adeptus Astartes and Black Templars, the faction keywords, and is therefore from the Black Templars chapter. You cannot include units from more than one chapter in your army. Okay, so you're not adding some Space Wolf or, like a Dark Angel in there or something. If your army includes one or more units from the Black Templars chapter, or you are using one of the detachments found on the following pages, Adeptus Astartes units from your army lose the Oath of Moment army rule, if they have it, and it's replaced with the Templar Vows army rule. You cannot use the 1st Company Task Force detachment from the Codex Space Marines. Your army cannot include any Adeptus Astartes Psyker models. Your army cannot include the following datasheets, and then there's some Space Marine datasheets here related to the Gladiator, or 3 variants of Gladiator: the Impulsor, the Land Raider Crusader, the Repulsor Executioner, and the Stern God Veteran, and that is because there will be Black Templar versions of those. And what they will be is they will be the same data sheet as those Space Marine versions, but with the ability to take like an extra melter, I would think. So, maybe they explain this now. So I'm just trying to think here. If an Adeptus Astartes unit has a second faction keyword on its data sheet, that faction keyword is the name of that unit's chapter. Right, so yeah, so we know. So you can take generic Space Marines. You could take a Judicia or some Terminators, whatever you want, but you can't take characters and units that are synonymous with the other chapters. You can't have Sanguinary Guard. You can't have Deathwing Knights or something. That's fine. I'm just trying to think whether you could still run this Black Templar army and have allies like an Inquisitor or I don't know, so like a knight, an Imperial Knight or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Let's read on though. As in previous Codex supplements, several datasheets, such as the Gladiator tanks and Stern Guard veterans, have their own Black Templars version with different rules and weapon options. Different rules. Well, I suppose the different rules are that they get Templar vows and weapon options. So the originals can't be taken in these armies. Templars respect the rule of 3. Yeah. This new flexibility gives the Black Templars more ways to channel their zeal than simply hacking anything funny-looking to pieces. Those who adopt the new Vindication Task Force detachment see it as their holy quest to reclaim and purify the God Emperor's rightful domain, and They're so dedicated to their mission that Crusader squads will actually give up the chance to get closer to their foes if it puts them nearer to an objective instead. Utter madness. Okay, so this is a detachment rule for the first one. What did they say it was? The Vindication Task Force. Detachment rule. Purge and sanctify. Each time an attack targets an ancient unit from your army, if that unit is within range of one or more objective markers and the strength characteristic of that attack is greater than the toughness characteristic of that unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. So if you've got an ancient, or if you've got a unit with the ancient keyword and you're on an objective, you basically get the Wrath of the Rock detachment rule. You get it's -1 to wound you. If the strength of the weapon attacking you is greater than your toughness characteristic. Okay, and then also each time a Crusader squad from your army, and it's interesting, it's Crusader squad. It doesn't distinguish between Crusader squad or Primaris Crusader squad. I'm pretty sure they're referring to just Crusader squad now. Each time a Crusader squad unit from your army makes a righteous zeal move, we don't know what that is yet, that unit can end that move as close as possible to the closest objective marker instead of as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. So, what is this, some sort of surge move or consolidation type thing? But instead of having to move nearer the closest enemy unit, it's going to be like a surge move, I think, like a reaction move. So it's either when you get shot at or when an enemy unit moves towards you, you can move away. And whereas it would have been that you can move towards them to the closest enemy unit, you can now actually just divert and get onto the objective marker. Again, another very good ability for getting on objectives and scoring and winning and completing missions, I suppose. Excuse me. Okay, let's keep going. It's also a great way to take the new Crusade Ancient for a spin. Here we go. They're now going to promote the new model coming out. As loads of the detachments, enhancements and stratagems, and I should say, well, they're just about to mention here the ancient keyword, and of course this Purge and Sanctify of the Vindication Task Force. The first bit only relates to when you're being targeted, when one of your units with the ancient keyword is being targeted. So, is this prevalent? I mean, how many ancient keywords are there throughout the army? I mean, if it's just the Crusader Ancient, he's the only one with the ancient keyword, then that's ridiculous. You're going to need to have like 3 of them in your army. And do you want to base your whole strategy and your whole detachment rule around 3 units in your army? So who knows? I mean, I was going to say maybe dreadnoughts or something would also have the ancient keyword, but they won't, will they, of course, because they will have the same data sheet as the normal Marines. So, I mean, you could take maybe a Blade Guard Ancient or just the standard Ancient, and then you've got the Crusade Ancient, and you're going to have to litter your army with these Ancients to really get the most out of this. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that, really. I don't know why they've restricted it to Ancient. But as I was just reading here, it's they're saying that loads of the detachments, enhancements and stratagems use units with the ancient keyword as the linchpin of an impenetrable defensive strategy. Layer up their detachment rule with the consecrating aura to make a big bodyguard squad of 20 Crusaders extra difficult to shift. Then keep refusal to yield on hand in case someone snipes the boss out from his squad. It's incredible value for just a single command point. So consecrating order. I don't know what this refusal to yield is. What's that? Anyway, consecrating aura. Adeptus Astartes model only. Models in this bearer's unit have a 5-up invulnerable save. A 5-up invulnerable save, all right. Great. Only good against weaponry of +3 or +4. Vindication Task Force Epic Deed Stratagem. In any phase, just after an ancient model from your army is destroyed, that ancient model, you target that ancient model, and you can use this stratagem on that model even though it was just destroyed. At the end of the phase, set your model back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of one or more enemy units with its full wounds remaining. You cannot target the same model with this stratagem more than once per battle. Wow. Okay, that's pretty special. Wow, okay. So, I mean, the first one is an enhancement, so you can only give it to one. So only one ancient in your army will have this enhancement of the 5-up invulnerable save. But, I suppose I don't think it's that useful, a 5-up invuln. I mean, 4-up invuln would have been great, but as they say, like 20 Crusaders, okay, maybe it makes them a little bit tougher. Not really, though. But the fact that even if the ancient dies, he just gets up again, and you don't have to roll, you don't have to take a leadership test or on a 2-up or anything. You just spend a command point, and he gets up with full wounds. That is a very strong stratagem, because he will get up and join the bodyguard unit again and reform the attached unit of 20 Crusaders, let's say. Or however many are left of the Crusaders, he will just go back straight into that unit. Okay, moving on. This detachment pairs wonderfully with the Uphold the Honour of the Emperor Templar vow that gives all your infantry sticky objectives, supercharging your ability to take and hold ground with a big resilient Crusader squad. That's not to say you can't just pitch a horde of screaming Templars into the melee, though, and the Companions of Vehemence detachment gets you there fast with important rerolls for all your charge and advance moves. Okay, so there's another detachment they're talking about here, the Companions of Vehemence, and that gives you rerolls for all your charges and advances. Now that's really good in combination with the Templar vow of being able to advance and still perform an action, because to reroll your advances, you're pretty much getting where you need to be. Rerolling charges is great, and particularly great if you want to deep strike things in and try and risk a 9-inch charge. Now, obviously, you can't advance and charge, and don't think there's anything that I'm aware of in the Black Templar Codex that allows you to advance and charge. Oh. Or is there? Let's have one little look at this. Slow internet. What I'm wondering is, what was the ability of the Execrator? Oh my god, what is... It's probably not my internet, actually. It's probably just GW's amazingly crap website. Oh, I'm on the wrong website. I don't want this. I want the community. Right, this article. What did they say was his special rule? Remorseless persecution drives the unit they join into a berserk fury, letting them charge in the same turn as they advance. Wow. You need 3 of these guys then. If you're going to play this, this is the thing. This is the thing. They've created 2 new... This is so GW. They've created 2 new models, and then they've just built super powerful rules around these 2 models. So you've got to go out and buy loads. If you want your ancients performing abilities for you, and then when they die, they pop back up with a stratagem. Hey, buy 3 of these new Crusade Ancients. If you want to be able to charge around the battlefield, advancing and charging and re-rolling your advance and charge rolls, guess what you need for that, guys? You need an Execrator. You need the new Execrator. That's amazing, though. That is literally amazing. So Yeah, so if you're using, this is looking better. This is looking a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So if you're using this, uphold the honor of the emperor, and you've got sticky objectives, you're running around, advancing everywhere, still performing actions to score your missions, like cleanse or something like that. And then when you do want to get into battle, you're not only are you re-rolling your advances, you can then charge, and you can re-roll those charge rolls as well. That's pretty damn good. And as they say, I mean, maybe you're using 20 Crusaders to do that, or 10 Sword Brethren. That's, I mean, it's looking a lot better now. I like some of this now. Finally, here's the last one. The Godhammer Assault Force is for those who think that walking is too mundane for the Emperor's own angels and would rather hurl them up the battlefield in the safety of an armoured transport. Many of its rules have a little extra oomph in if the target hopped out of a transport that turn. And if that doesn't make you see endless squads of land raiders disgorging sword brethren, when you close your eyes, you need to indulge your imagination. Oh, yes. Now that is music to my ears, because the new tanks, let's face it, they're not great, are they? I mean, the Repulsor's quite nice, the Gladiator's quite nice, the Impulsor looks bloody awful. And they're not a patch on the good old trusty Land Raider. So the fact that you can stick Sword Brethren in a Land Raider and have this wonderful looking force, and then, I mean, who knows what they're going to do? I mean, they'll get a benefit from, I mean, God, imagine if it's that they can charge. Well, actually, but Land Raiders have assault ramps anyway, don't they? So maybe it's you can charge and they get +1. Maybe because they took +1 to strength away from the Sword Brethren with this new codex. That was one of the leaks. So maybe you get +1 strength back on the turn that you disembark from a transport. But either way, I mean, just charging up the field. Maybe if you just still use the other detachment, the Uphold the Honor of the Emperor, you stick an Execrator in with the Sword Brethren. You fly up the field in a Land Raider, they all jump out, you know. Can you? Yeah, you can. If the Land Raider has the assault ramp, you can get out, you can advance, you can charge. Fantastic. Right, there's some play here. I mean, we still don't know all the rules here, but this is looking a bit better. So that's it. That is the article. I know I've rambled on a bit here, but I'm just trying to work out what this means, and I think we can sort of read between the lines and fill in some of this. And essentially Games Workshop are really going to push these new models. Well, I've ordered one of each, but it looks like that's just not going to be enough, is it? Because you need Crusade Ancients and Execrators and a whole load of Crusaders and Sword Brethren. But you know what? It'll be a really themey army. It'll be just Black Templars all the way, and they'll just be charging at the battlefield, and they'll still hit hard, I think, and they'll be able to get to you with the advancing and charging rerolls and stuff. But what matters in this game as much as that is scoring and completing your missions and not being outscored. And there's some good rules in here by the look of it to ensure you get on objectives, you sticky them so you can leave them, and you can reach places that you wouldn't normally be able to in quite a few different ways here. So anyway, that's it. Please tell me what you think. I'd love to know what anybody else thinks about these Black Templars. I mean, am I just I'm talking to myself here? Am I the only one thinking about this? Come on, this is a very popular chapter. I know it is, because people love the Black Templars. They're the best. So what do you think about these? If you're a Black Templar fan, do you think this is powerful? Do you think it's enough? Are you encouraged by what you're seeing here, or is this disappointing? But I'm happier than I was before I started the article. So but we'll have to wait and see in a couple of weeks' time, or whenever the codex leaks all over the internet. We'll find out then exactly how much viability the Black Templars have, but fingers crossed, because I might be playing these at the LGT if they're strong, or just strong enough, and won't embarrass myself any more than usual with them. But we'll have to wait and find out. So until the next video, thanks for watching and take care.